Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
We're at GMS Camp out here in Phoenix, Arizona. First, we want to give his all praise, glory, and honor is to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Of course, we want to give double honors to the apostles and elders that have taught us the truth and rule well. I want to say shalom to the Akwath and to the Akim. I also want to say shalom to the speckled bird, even though you may look like the heathen, but are not the heathen. No, we're about to go into many scriptures about, the change of things and how we should be and being ready to give up everything in a time of judgment, a time of all the things that are about to hit, to give up everything that you believe you hold dear.
That's right, man. Beautiful, man. And again, shalom to all you Akim, you brothers and you sisters that subscribe to this doctrine given through the Spirit of power, Yahweh Shai. Just as that brother, Kaya had said beautifully, man. We're getting ready, to come into a time, right, of Jacob's trouble, man. We're in this time, right. The scriptures talk about that we may have to be, pilgrims, among the earth, man. Have to move around, and with that, you have to be willing, right. You have to have the spirit and the mindset, right, to be willing to give up everything, right, in order to, trust and believe and have faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Right, this is a time that we're coming into, man. If you're not in that spirit, the time that's going to come is not going to be a, very welcoming time for you, man. Because you being attached to all these different, things in the world, whether it be your family, whether it be, material things, your car, your house, right, your job, right. You ultimately being, attached to those things, right, and ultimately engage, fully engaged in those things, and that can ultimately lead to you, accepting, the charagma, which we understand Jacob's trouble, right, where Esau Edom is going to force the charagma on the masses, right, in order to be a part of his society, which, World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab had posted, man, saying that you're going to have to take an implantable C-hip in order to participate in the future society. All right, so we know that that's coming down the pipe, as well as there's going to be all out, chaos and, famine and so on and so forth. All these different, things and judgments that are ultimately going to make up Jacob's trouble are going to happen here soon, right? And following that, World War III, and the most sought after, prophecy, which Yahweh Shai is coming, man. Where at that point there's going to be basically the eradication, of wickedness within the earth, man. When Yahweh Shai and the angels come. Right, so at this point, right, you got to be willing, right, to let go of these things that got you attached to this world, got you in the spirit of not watching, not paying attention, which again, you doing those things will lead to your death, right? So you have to be willing to let those things go, and that's part of this walk. That's really one of the first things that you learn, coming into this truth, this gospel, man. And we're gonna grab that. Go ahead.
This is Luke chapter 14 and 28.
That's right.
For which, this is Yahweh Shai speaking also.
Red letters.
Yep, red letter. Luke 14 and 28. For which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it?
And right, through the Spirit, are we not building? Right? Are we not, basically adding to, those blocks of the same house, right? Beginning with that corner, which is Yahweh Shai. You know what I mean? Which is the foundation. You know what I mean? So we're building, right? So we have to be able to, when we first come into this gospel, right, we ultimately look at the things and hear the things that brothers say, hey, this is what you're going to go through. You're going to go through suffering, right? They bring up Matthew 7 and verse 13 and 14, right, which talks about, entering at the straight gate, going into that word straight, which means what? A position of difficulty, right? And letting you know that this walk is not going to be easy, that there are things that you're going to have to mentally and spiritually depart from, in this time, right? So that way you can make it through the times that are coming. Brothers bring about, talk about this and do lessons on this, you know what I mean? And that's where, you Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai through the Spirit guides you to those lessons, right? Because he ultimately, he builds you, right? You start with the foundation, right? And then you build up from there. But this is one of those things, right, that ultimately builds you, right, through the Spirit. That's part of that foundation.
Also too, going in with the brother when he talks about losing things, you see, we don't have a problem losing a house or a car, or you shouldn't. When it comes down to your loved ones, your wife, your children, are you willing to let them go? And so we was going into scripture earlier, and this is, if you don't mind forgetting, this is Luke chapter 14 and 26. If any man come to me and hate not his father and his mother and his wife and his children and brethren and sisters, and his own life, also he cannot be my disciple. So letting you know, if you he's not saying physically hate them with a passion of hating them like you despise them, but basically telling you if you put them before me, it's a problem. You cannot put your family, your children, your wife, your parents before Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. You know, because if you do, basically he's telling you then you're not for me.
That's right. Hey, well, actually, let's get that word in the blue letter. That word hate. Too, yeah. That's right, man. Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Translation or not translation, but gives you more understanding, man, on what we're truly talking about. Go ahead.
Comment with the definition.
Strong's G 3404.
Maseo. To hate, pursue with hatred. Let me see. Let's go. I'm gonna go a little further down.
It should be down there.
Yeah, right there.
Okay, it says to the Strong's definition by, he said extension.
Yeah.
Extension to love less.
Right, to love less. Right, meaning, you know what I mean. You don't have to, again, not literally hate, right, your parents, your children or whoever it may be, even your friends in the world. You know what I mean, that have been good unto you. You know what I mean. You ain't got to literally hate them, but you put them you put them second to Yahweh while Yahweh Shai, man. Right, he comes first over all these things. And again, that goes for material things as well. Your car, your house, your job, your phone, or whatever it may be, right? Your TV shows, all those things have to come last compared to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai in this ministry, man.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right, bro.
You got your precept, bro?
Yeah, let me see if I can. It's in this particular chapter. You can skip it for me.
Even our forefathers, right? They understood that, right? And first account I want to go into is Philippians. If you can grab Philippians 3 and 8, right? Just the mindset of Apostle Paul, right? Because Apostle Paul, was a pivotal, character, right? In the scriptures, man. Right, in the New Testament, he labored more abundantly, right? 13 books in the New Testament were Apostle Paul, man. And it speaks about, right? You can read it 1 Corinthians or 2 Corinthians, right? How he went through, I think it was the 11th chapter, right? He went through, a shipwreck and so on and so forth. He went through a lot, man.
Stoned, stranded in the middle of the sea.
That's right.
Persecuted, chased. Locked up.
Right. Apostle Paul went through many things, but his mindset, right, going through these things was to, not, cling unto the things of the world, but to cling unto the things, which are eternal. Right, which is Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai in the kingdom, man. Go ahead.
This is Philippians 3 and 8. Yeah, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai.
Right, he counts all things a loss. Right, meaning those things are already gone. Those things already. If you're gonna take it from me, it was already gone yesterday, man.
Yep.
Before you took it. You know what I mean? At that point, man. And then that's the same mentality we got to have, especially, bro. We're seeing all these different signs in the earth, man. All these different signs in the earth that are happening right now, right? Morocco just had, I want to say, a few weeks ago, they had just had a major earthquake, right? Killed thousands, man. You know what I mean? Libya was going through flooding, killed thousands. And now you're seeing what? More earthquakes. Yep, Turkey.
Yep.
And even Haiti before that.
Haiti was hit.
You know what I mean? Those are major earthquakes, right? The scriptures talk about those signs, man. Matthew's the 24th chapter. 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter, right? Talks about those signs, man. Right? So knowing that these things are coming and knowing that judgment is turning up, and what kind of mindset that we have to be in? We have to be in the mindset of saying, hey, we got to flee, right? Because Esau is going to declare martial law, right? They're going to come kick in the door, especially for those that are preaching this truth, man. We're revealing Esau Edom's agenda, man, and so he's going to come after us first and foremost. Those who are spreading the message and through the Spirit and power of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, turning them away from this damn devil, man.
Okay.
That's right. Also, too, when you're going into it, you got to understand, too, you can't be like Lot's wife, turning around and looking back at what you think you lost.
Hey, there's a precept literally dedicated to that right there. Remembering Lot's wife.
Yeah, just that.
Yeah.
Because of how important it is, man.
Yeah.
That's the time that we're coming into. You're gonna have to let go of all these things.
Well, the scripture saying Wisdom of Solomon in the 10th chapter, right, that Lot's wife was a monument of an unbelieving soul.
Wow.
So that's why right now, faith is, it's being pushed a lot, within the ministry as of right now, just through the Spirit, and that's something the Lord is saying, like, have faith, like, really work on yourself and get built up and get ready, because these things are about to happen. And though the average person can't see it, and you look at things in your life and around you, everything looks normal, because people don't pay attention. But when you're looking on everywhere else in the world, it's complete chaos, man. Right? You see, but that's the birth pains, and that's the time where we're in, man. You got it, bro.
That's right, man. Let's go ahead and finish that real quick.
Okay, back to Philippians 3 and 8. And it says, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things. I started where I looked. Let me start from the beginning.
No. You go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
For whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung,
Right.
that I may win Hamashiach.
Right. So that's Jake right there, man. And what does Jake say? You know, when they, you know, someone gets hurt or whatever happens. Oh, that ain't shit, man.
Yep.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Jake.
When Jake don't really care about it, that ain't shit, man. What is he saying? Man, read that again, Bubba Shaw, man.
Lord, let me see. It says, my Lord, Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung,
They ain't shit. Go ahead.
that I may win Hamashiach.
Right. So it's at the forefront of our mind is what? Yahweh Shai. At the forefront of our mind is Yahweh Shai. Why? Because he, through him, and being able, being the only one worthy to loose the seals thereof, right, to allow us to have this knowledge in this time, being that intercessor for us to the Father, right, allow and being the one that, is basically asking for that mercy to be given to us. He's showing that mercy, man.
Right.
We don't deserve it, but yeah, he gives it, right? That's what? That's grace. Right? Undeserving love. Undeserved, man. Unearned. We didn't earn this. But yeah, he's giving it to us, man. And that makes it more the beautiful, man.
Right.
You're more the worth, again, looking at these things that are in the world that really have no value. And the brother you want him, man, he's always saying this, man. And I remember it. Brother said, what, man? We're basically losing nothing to gain everything.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's how it is, man. You know what I mean? That's some, man, you have to think about it like that. Because our forefathers did, man. That's exactly the mindset of our forefathers, unless you brothers got precepts.
No.
Come on, let's go to Job, the second chapter, and we'll start. We'll start at the
yeah,
top.
I can get it.
It's only 13 verses. We're not gonna get it all, but I just want to start at the top on that. You know what I mean? Let's get all the meat off of it, man.
You said Job, the second chapter?
Yeah, Job 2. Let me start at the
Verse
top.
1?
Yep.
Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also.
Right, and this again is going over, basically what you read in the first chapter, where the Most High called all the angels, right, and Satan, ultimately, came also, which is proof, right, that the angels didn't, with that Christianity doctrine, Lucifer, fought against the Most High bullshit. This proves that all the angels, all the spirits are subject to the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. Go ahead.
And it said, let's see, I'm going to start from the top. Job 2 and 1. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord.
Right.
And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan,
that proves that this, is basically, so-called Satan's domain, man. So right here, we're in the place of lust, in the place of wickedness, in the place of evil, man. Right? So that's, what do you think is going to be pushing the earth? Who's running the earth? Right? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. This is Satan's, spiritual demon Satan's playground, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
this is where he can do it, and he is, basically being backed by the most wicked man in the earth.
You see that spiritual, they mentioned Las Vegas as Sin City. What did the Lord say? That the eyes of the Lord, Amos 9:8, are upon a sinful kingdom.
Yeah, that's right.
So
that's right.
You don't watch this place.
It's like it, bro. You don't see that no other. You don't hear about a Sin City somewhere else in anywhere on the earth. You don't hear about that, man. You know what I mean? Because again, America is that, that epicenter of wickedness and evil in the earth, man.
Okay, 1 and 4.
And this is something that we have to deal with on a daily, right? Just ultimately making that, that comparison, that parallel, from Job's life and his walk, right? And Apostle Paul's walk and the walk that we're walking now. Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and issueth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause.
Right, so the Lord's basically making a bet. He's saying, hey, have you considered my my servant? Right, he's doing pretty good, man. I trust him. You know what I mean? He's a perfect man. I bet you can't get him. I bet you can't get him. Which shows you right there that the Lord, he tests us. He puts us through tests, right, to see whether we're gonna pass or not, man. But at the same time, that just shows you that the Lord also has, faith in us, man. Right, that we're gonna make it. He's saying, no, this is a perfect man. I bet you can't. Right, the Lord's saying, I bet you can't get him. Keep going.
And Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin, yeah, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thy hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face.
Right, so he's saying, hey, if you let me touch him, let me do whatever I got to do, I bet you he'll curse you. Right, so they're going back and forth, man. Which shows you that's Jake, man. Jake like to bet like that, man. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he is in thy hand, but save his life.
He said, bet, go ahead. Right, go ahead.
So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. This also proves with Satan. Satan has no power. See, he has to ask Yahweh before he even makes a move. So everybody's always thinking that Satan got all this power to rule over Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, when he does not. If you see the dialogue here, Yahweh was talking to Satan about doing stuff to Job, but Yahweh tells Satan what he can't do. He tells him, don't kill him. You can do what you can do to him, but don't you kill him. So which proves that Satan is not all powerful. He has to, as the brother said earlier, the angels are in subjection to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, including Satan himself.
That's right.
I'm going to go a little further. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, he is in thy hand, but save his life. So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown.
Right. So he was going through it, man. That right there is a example of a physical ailment, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? But hey, brothers go through mental ailments. Hey, brothers get it hard at their job. Brothers go through it all the time, man. But at the same, it's really about your mindset, man. Because the scriptures say, matter of fact, let's just keep reading. Go ahead.
And he took him and pot shred to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes.
Right, man.
Then said his wife unto him, dost thou still retain thy integrity? Curse God and die.
Right, man. Just shows you that that woman, right, as Apostle Paul said, man, that she's gonna be a thorn in our side, man. You know what I mean? Like, really, most of the time, man, our women are against us, man. You know what I mean? They're basically, it's like tug of war dealing with your woman, man. So really, at the end of the day, man, you can't be relying on your woman for any kind of spiritual advice, or really relying on your woman at all, right? Because Apostle Paul also said, right, that we're supposed to be as though we have no wife, man. You know what I mean? Because we're supposed to focus on this ministry, man, right? Which is also, an example, right, of even looking at your woman, right, as Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai comes first, right, even over your woman, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's how we're supposed to be in all things,
even going back to slogging from us, Job, was that Job 39 and 17, when it says, for she is void of wisdom. So you can't go to no woman and think you're going to get anything out of her. Any kind of wisdom when it comes down to this truth. You're not going to get it. But anyway, you want to move on? Verse 10?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just to back up that point, King Solomon, he prayed to the Most High for wisdom.
Right.
He didn't go pray to, he didn't go pray to, like what other apostles recall. He says, Big Shirley.
Big Shirley.
He prayed to, to Heavenly Father, Yahweh, man.
This is Job 2 and 10. But he said unto her, thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What shall we receive good at the hand of God? And shall we not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips.
Right. So again, at the same time, he realized that we're gonna have to lose things, right? He realized, we're gonna have our ups or downs, right? And just as we have our ups, right, we have our downs, man. It might be real good, you know what I mean, real good. But again, you're gonna have those really bad moments, man. Right? We understand that. You know what I mean? We might have a car, we might have a house, right? We might have, you know, some nice shoes. We might have, you know, what we want, right? As far as in the world, right? But when that time comes, we're gonna have to cast those things off. Hey, we're gonna have to cast them off and not look back, man. Right? And you might not have ever been in that position ever before, right? But you have to suck it up at that moment, man. You know, because again, he lost everything. His wife, right? He lost his, or not his wife, Slucky, not his wife, his children, his servants, right? His cattle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He lost all that, man. You know what I mean? And then now he's being afflicted in his body. So he went through constant things. And the brother, you know, you want to, you know, through his spirit, man, you know, right before he pressed the button, right? He said it was going, it was consistent, right? There was really, it was like one after the other, you know? So that's like heavy, man. And sometimes, you know, we do go through those seasons, man, where we do get it, you know, back to back to back. And then in times to come, hey, that's just going to be, you're just going to be down and out. You know what I mean? Can we grab in Sirach, the 2nd chapter where it says, take cheerfully when thou art changed to a lower state. You know, because again, you know, there's a certain mindset that we have to have when all that, you know, when all this takes place, right? And that's, again, you know, realizing that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is working, right? Go ahead.
And this is Sirach chapter 2 and verse 1, and it reads, you want to start from the top?
Oh yeah, you can start from the top.
God, it says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Right, and the temptation is what, man? It's a trial, a test. You know, really a test of one's faith, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And we go through those every day, right? Sometimes it might be a little pop quiz, right? Nothing real like, you know, major or significant. But I mean, at the end of the day, right, all the tests and everything like that are very important, right? Because it molds us, right? But not as big as this coming test that's going to happen, right? We're constantly going through these tests and pop quiz, you know, just like you were at when you were in high school, man, right? You had the mid-finals, right? And then you had the major final at the end, the one that really mattered, man, at the very end. Right, all these other ones were really just to prepare us for that final test at the end of the year, man.
Yeah, that's what's coming.
That's right.
Yep.
You know, so this is the time that we are in, right? Again, we go through these little tests, but they're build us and mold us, man. You know what I mean? And
that's right. I got a precept.
Yeah, go ahead.
Con, this is actually, I'll just keep reading on that Sirach.
Yeah, come.
Con, Sirach chapter 2 and verse 2. It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
And constantly endure, man. You know, so being able to, again, continue to look at these situations, right, through the Spirit. Yeah. You know, and again, you know, through the Spirit, man, you know, the Elder Bayan, you know, here at camp, man, you know, as, you know, I said multiple times that, you know, brothers need to start looking at things more spiritual, man. You know what I mean? Because again, we're in those times where everything that's happening is through the Spirit. And if you can't see it through the Spirit, then you're blinded, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is not a time to, you know, not to know what's going on and what's coming down the pipe. You know what I mean? Being prepared through the Spirit, man. You know? Go ahead.
God, it says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. Right,
don't wig out, man. When shit starts to get real bad, man, don't wig out. Right, understand and trust and believe Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua got something working, man. Right, the scriptures say, be ye not afraid, neither doubt.
Right.
You know, that's right, man. So he's gonna guide us through the Spirit on what, you know, the decisions that we need to make.
Right.
You know what I mean? Trusting and believing that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua has got our best interests at heart. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
It says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Right, man. Right, because that's ultimately what we're looking for, right? To be increased at the latter end, man.
Yeah.
You know.
It's the hope.
That's right. Right, to make it through the said, you know, perils, right, and to see the Lord's salvation, as it says in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you can go ahead and listen.
Con, I'll read these next two scriptures and then I'll get them on my precept.
That's right.
That's okay.
Yep.
Con, this verse 4. It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. Con, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So, you know, Lord said in Isaiah the 46th chapter that I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. See, in that affliction, it is that fire, man, that the Lord is going to blow upon you. But, you know, there's a video of this woman, she was explaining, you know, the blacksmith was explaining to her. Basically, she asked the question, how can you tell the gold it's done and it can be taken out of the fire. And he said, basically, I know that it's purified when I can see my own image in it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the sufferings will do. They'll either make you or they'll break you. Because what they should do is move you is to pray to Yahweh Shai, man. You see what I'm saying? So that's what the affliction should do, is draw you closer to the Lord, because you're gonna be seeking Him, man. And then you come to the point where you know that if you don't seek the Lord fast, and do the things that are required of you, not only will He take the spirit away, but He'll cause all holy hell to come upon you in the days to come, man.
Right.
That's why you gotta have that mentality when you're in these afflictions, is that if I don't fight and do my best to endure, right, that the Lord is gonna subject me to some of these judgments. And a lot of you brothers, man, and you sisters, you know this truth. You know what's getting ready to happen, man. You see, but what did the Lord say? To whom much is given, much is required. We gotta fight, man. Because here soon we ain't gonna be doing nothing but fighting, man. For righteousness, because we're gonna be put in situations where we're gonna be enticed to sin, right? Which is what that word goes into in the Greek for the word try. It's a Greek word periazo, right? Trying one's faith by enticement to sin. What's gonna cause you to sin? Right, taking that damn mark, man. So if you can't stay strong through these times, how you gonna think you gonna make it through Jacob's trouble? Man, you gotta stay strong right now, man. We all do. It's like
you're right, bro. Hey, the scriptures say that make you ready to the battle, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not literally talking about a real like bloody battle. But that's ultimately the fight that you walk in this path is what you're gonna have, man.
When you go into that word battle in the etymology, it goes into harsh circumstances.
Right, so the things that you're gonna deal with and you're gonna suffer for the name of the Lord's sake, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? That battle, man. That's why Apostle Paul said, fight the good fight of faith, man. Because again, it is a battle. We're gonna go through a lot of things in this walk, man. But again, we have to stay faithful, as the brother said. We have to constantly endure, man.
Right.
And make not haste in time of trouble. And when we are changed to a lower state, when we do have to, ultimately lose things, right, upon this walk, right, again, even in the times to come, right, we're not, we're trusting and believing in Yahweh Shai, man, and looking at that as really, just a level up in the spirit, man. Right?
Yeah.
You have to look at these tests not as, for, oh, fuck, man, I got another test like you did in high school, right? Fuck, man, I don't want to go through this. Look at it, like you have to look at that test like, okay, that's another chance for me to level up in the spirit and to be able to, again, serve the Lord in a, better.
To be able to show your faith.
Exactly, right?
Because the scriptures select it.
No good, boy.
Because the scriptures say that even the angels desire to do the things that we do. To come in on, in this mortal body that's subject to corruption, and you still fighting. Like, we fight, man. This is like a miracle, man. To fight the flesh and follow after the spirit, it's like it be good.
No, that was good. That was fire, bro. Was there more on that?
No, there was. I just had a precept. Unless you had a precept.
I had a precept too.
Go ahead.
It's going into that. When all hell breaks loose, having that understanding that Yahweh Shai is going to be with us in that day. He's going to be with His elect. When you go into Jeremiah 29:11, He says, to give you that expected end. So when all hell is breaking loose, remember, when you see it through the Spirit, you understand that Yahweh Shai is the one that's causing all this. He even said that to watch, because you're going to see basically the wicked fall. For what He's doing is for the wicked. So you're going to watch and see what's about to happen to the wicked. But this is Psalms 138:7. Though I walk in the midst of trouble, thou wilt receive me. Thou shalt revive Salakia. Thou wilt revive me. Thou shalt stretch forth thy hand against the wrath of my enemies, and thy right hand shall save me. So it's that right off the cusp that Yahweh Shai is telling you straight out off the cusp, off the fist, that basically I got you. Why are you worrying about it? Just watch and see me. Watch and see the power and what I'm about to do to the wicked. You just stay still and you watch and let me, like Jake say, watch me work. Watch me shine.
That's right.
What I'm about to do.
That's right, man. Again, that's and the Lord is only going to do that, right, for, again, those that ultimately put off this world, man. What does it say? Arise ye and depart.
Right,
for this is not your rest.
Right, man. Because again, we don't have no continuing city here, man. And again, our forefathers knew that, man. You know what I mean? If a brother can, you can grab the precept. Can a brother grab Hebrews the 11th chapter, and we can.
Can I grab this real quick?
Yeah, go.
This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 2. I start verse 1. Points in verse 3. It says, wherefore, when we could no longer forbear, we thought it good to be left at Athens alone, and sent Timotheus, our brother and minister of Yahweh, and our fellow laborer in the gospel of Hamashiach, to establish you and to comfort you concerning your faith. You see, and this is what Yahweh Bashmashai is doing, right, all throughout the earth. You know, he's sending his men to warn of the destruction, right, and the doom that's getting ready to come. But he's all, hey, there's good news within this message as well. You know? So that's what should strengthen you in your mind, man. It says that no man should be moved by these afflictions, for yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto, man. You see that in the NLT, it says, and to keep you from being shaken by the troubles you were going through. 33. But know that we are destined for such troubles, so we're destined to go through these things, man.
That's right.
You know, it's not just like, you know, you're catching hell for no reason. You're catching hell because you're, what it say, he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. That's right. But to also depart from wickedness is a thing pleasing to the Lord. So it's a battle, man.
That's right.
And also, like, if you think about it, would you not rather catch hell now?
Exactly.
I'd rather catch hell now than worry about it catching it later when them death angels out there and cannibals and all the stuff that's going to be happening during Jacob's trouble.
Right.
Hey, well, scriptures say that, you know, we're chastised now so that we're not chastised with the world.
Or so
Exactly.
we're not condemned with the world.
We're not condemned with the
world. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Because at the end of the day, man, I'd rather go through it now. I'd rather go through the hell now, man. Right? Because when that judgment comes down, and again, we're in the time of great judgment. When that judgment comes down, man, hey, man, the Lord is not playing with nobody. You know what I mean? Go ahead, bro.
He even said, don't even pray for them. He tells you scripture, I think that's in Jeremiah. He tells you, don't you even pray for them, because I will not hear you. Right. Do you understand that? When he tells you don't even pray for them, that means he ain't playing. He coming for straight wrath.
That's right.
You know, he's coming to kill and destroy.
Right.
Go ahead.
Con, this is 1 Corinthians 11:32. But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world. You know, that's why it says, he that is in the way of reproof is in the way of life. You know, if you could take correction and, you know, look at it as, okay, this brother has the best interest, you know, and it's through the Spirit of the Lord. You know, and you got to take that correction, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it can save your life, or not taking heed to it can ultimately lead you to death. And that's going to be the demise of a lot of our people, because it says, many shall perish in this life, 2 Ezra 7:20, because they despise the law of the Most High set before them. You know, they're not in the way of getting that correction so they can change and know what they need to do. You know?
Right.
They don't care, no.
It's like you, bro. Yeah, but you know, because again, you know, ultimately, you know, chastisement can come in by way of you failing a test, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you not seeing that, you know, that lesson, or you not being able to, you know, be able to walk like you should have walked, or to make the move that you should have made, right, in that test, you know, so now you're getting chastised for it, man. Now you're getting your ass whooping for it, man. You know what I mean? So again, it can come in the form of you failing a test, right. You know, but nonetheless, all chastisements, right, are you know, you have to look at them as a test, right? What can I learn from this? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? What the scriptures say, let not thy sins weigh thee down, man. You know, so you really got to think about them and don't weigh on them too much, man. You know, find out the lesson and move on to the next, man. Right. You know, that's how you have to look at it. But let's go to that Hebrews again, going into, you know, our forefathers as an example, right, of looking at things that in the world, right, as really, you know, shit compared to what, you know, Lord will, we're going to receive, man. You know, go ahead.
This is Hebrews 11:23.
Right.
By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents, because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment.
That's right. Go ahead.
By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer the affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasure of sin for a season.
Right, man. So again, he chose rather to, you know, be lowly, right, and you know, again, you know, follow and walk that path, right, and refuse the things, you know, of the world, right, just so he can win Yahweh Shai, so he can win the kingdom. You know, go ahead.
Right.
Let's see. Esteeming the reproach of Hamashiach greater riches than the treasures in Egypt.
There you go. And we know that modern day Egypt is America, man. You know, so again, the things that are within America, right? The lust of the flesh, the pride of life, and so on and so forth, all these material things, right? All those things have to play basically the back burner. They have to be put on the back burner compared to Yahweh Shai and this truth, man.
Right.
You know, being brotherly and, you know what I mean? Again, like you have to forsake your family. The brother Kaya brought it out, man. Luke 14:26. You know, that he that hateth not his mother, father, brother, sister, so on and so forth, more than Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua will not receive the kingdom, man.
And Yahushua even mentioned denying yourself.
Right.
You know, things that you and his spiritual too, because I was washing some clothes, man. I was coming up the stairs from the laundromat, and there was a Jake, you know, he was cool, whatever. You know, he just moved in, and basically, I was, you know, we were talking about all the things happening in the world. I was like, man, it's a crazy time to be in. And he's like, yeah, you ain't lying. He's like, but he's like, at least, you know, I live my life, so if I die, you know, I live doing the things I want to do. And I literally told him, I said, but have you been doing what he wants you to do?
Right.
And I pointed to the sky, and he's like, man, you have a good point. And he walked his separate way, you know?
Proof that he wasn't doing that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because if he was, he would have answered you right then and there. Yeah.
And that's spiritual, because, you know, it's a testimony to going into this lesson, you know?
Right.
Contrast.
You know?
It's crazy.
Showing the mindset of the people versus those that are in this walk, man.
Right.
You know? Go ahead.
Hebrews 11:26. Esteeming the reproach of Hamashiach greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward.
That's right. Go ahead.
By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king.
Right.
For he endured as seeing him who is invisible.
Right. So keeping their eye on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You know, and it was so true of Ryan, man. You know, keeping your eye on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Scripture say, keeping your eye single, Matthew the 6th chapter, man. You know what I mean? So that's how we have to be, right? And again, these are our forefathers. They went through this, man. They went through the affliction. They went through those major tests, right? And this is why, as it says in Romans 15:4, the things that are written aforetime are written for our learning. So we read the things that our forefathers went through and how they forsook all these different things, knowing that there was going to be a prize, right? They didn't receive it right then and there. Hey, but through the Spirit, they're going to receive it in this time. You know, all the times that they went through those things for the name of the Lord, now they're going to receive their recompense, man. We're in reward season, man.
Yep, time's coming.
Go ahead with your
Con, this is Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 13. In the NLT, it says, all these people died still believing what the Most High had promised them. They did not receive what was promised, but they saw it all from a distance and welcomed it. They agreed that they were foreigners and nomads here on earth.
Wow.
You know, pilgrims and strangers, man. Because this, you know, really, when you go into that word pilgrim, it goes into a traveler to a holy place.
Yeah.
And we're literally just passing through. We're trying to get back home, man.
That's right.
You know, we're just going through these lands, man. We're trying to save our brothers, you know, as we're making the journey and shit, trying to keep ourselves right, man. You know what I'm saying? But we have a goal in mind, and it's the kingdom, and that's where our mind is at.
That's right. And if I may say, just to add on to that, all these things that you see, the phones and cars and stuff like that, all this shit is wickedness, man. Because it puts a negative vibration on you, a low vibration on you, right? Which ultimately is why we get sick and our body, all our hormones and this, that, and the third are imbalanced, right? Everything in this world is imbalanced, man, right? And we're looking for perfection, right? We're looking for righteousness. Right, righteousness is immortality. We're always dying here, man.
Yeah.
Every time you turn your freaking head, man, you got a family member or old friend or whatever it may be, dying, man.
Yeah.
Because Esau's putting shit in the world, put in the water, the air, so on and so forth, man. In your clothes, It's like, come on, man. This scripture say, brother Kaya, look, man, perfect scripture, man. He is as death, man.
Yeah, Habakkuk 2:5, for he is death.
He is as death, man. You know what I mean? So, come on, man. Why would you want these things in this world, man? These things kill you, Straight wickedness in this shit, man.
And it's a beautiful thing, like the brother was saying, what we are. We're pilgrims. We're just passing through.
Yeah.
As the scriptures go back, said, for this is not your rest. So if it's not your rest, then what does that make you? Always on your feet, moving around, moving forward, trying to go home, trying to get home.
Nomads.
Nomads kind.
And we can go back to Hebrews.
Yeah. This is Hebrews 11, and let's see, 27. By faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible.
That's right.
If I may say in that verse, he forsook Egypt. Now we're coming into a time where you should really have forsaken this place in your mind and in your spirit. Right, but it's going to come to the time where you're going to have to literally depart from not taking that damn mark, right, in order to buy, man, and live in society, right? But you're gonna have to forsake these things in the times to come, not fearing what's gonna happen, not fearing the wrath of what Esau can do to you, man, right? Because we understand the Lord said that if you be thou faithful unto death, Revelation 2:10, that He'll give you a crown of life. So He told, forsake these things, but not fearing what Esau is gonna do to you, man, because that's the mentality Moses had. You got.
All right, we're gonna drop down to 36 because ultimately goes into again, many of our forefathers and what they did, man. Go ahead.
Hebrews 11:36.
Right.
And others had trial of cruel mockings and scourges, moreover of bonds and imprisonment.
Hey, do we not go through that now? Right, the elder apostles were thrown in the jail cell, man. You know what I mean? Brothers have always, have told about, how they, brothers here in camp, man. Before we came in, brothers had to get in fist fights, man. Even in the New York camp, you know what I mean? Brothers was getting in fist fights, all the time, man. Right, getting spit on. You know what I mean? People just standing up there, right? You see brothers in videos about it, even today, right? People sitting there just, I remember that one dude, I can't remember what camp it was, man. He was just standing there, man. Esau was talking about, he was like, yeah, go ahead, I'll kill you. He was like standing right there in front of him, man. And then he started following them back to their car. You know what I mean? It didn't say anything. We just standing there like a fucking statue, just staring at him like, he was trying to be a threatening presence, man. Right? But they understood, hey, those are brothers, man. Yahweh Shem Shai is standing around us, man. So obviously he didn't do shit. You know what I mean? But it could have been ugly, man. Right? Brothers go through these things. Hell, I think it was Abba Bivens, if I'm not mistaken. He was beaten while doing the work, man. And he was killed. You know what I mean? So, hey, even today we go through these things, man. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
They were stoned. They were sawn asunder. Were tempted, were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskin and goatskin, being destitute, afflicted and tormented.
Right, man. So, and again, in the times that we come, right, the scripture says it's gonna be what? Jacob's trouble, man. Right. So we're not exempt, man. We're gonna be in tight situations, man. Right. But just as the Lord ultimately, in the time of the wilderness, right, He furnished that table for the Israelites. He's gonna do the same thing, right, for the elect in these times, man. Take care of us, man. And all of our forefathers who went through these things are going to see miracles be done for them in the times to come. Right. The Lord is a balance. You know what I mean? He puts us through these tests, these trials, and takes things away from us just to give us something greater in the end.
The scripture say, for my servant shall eat and my servant shall drink in that day. Because when all hell breaks loose, that's going to be another thing that's going to be out. It's going to be a famine. It's going to be food around, but it's going to be very scarce. And Yahweh Shai did say that He's going to feed His elect. They're going to be all right.
That's right. All right. Go ahead.
Let's see.
38.
Yep. Hebrews 11:38, of whom the world was not worthy, they wandered in deserts and in mountains and in dens and caves of the earth.
Right, this world ain't worthy, man. You know what I mean? Hey, we're children of the Most High Yahweh Shem Shai, man.
That's right, bro.
You know what I mean? Again, and the kingdom is going to be established in righteousness, beginning with Yahweh Shai. But guess what? The world, in this current world, and the state that it's in, ain't worthy, right, to house such greatness, man. Such glory, man. Yahweh Shem Shai's glory cannot be fully shown here, man. In this wicked ass, evil ass world, man. Even then, it would taint it, right? The Lord's glory has to be solely shown.
Yeah.
And that's what's gonna be. That's what's gonna happen, right? And none of these nations trying to push their gods and this, that. The Lord's finna get rid of all these gods, so His name can be exalted, man.
Yeah. If I may say, He's gonna show that glory through an extension of us.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right, man.
It says they shall see me sanctified in you before their eyes.
That's
man.
right.
They're gonna see that what the Lord did for us, man.
It's like even to add, right? Psalms 126 says the heathen shall say the Lord hath done great things for them. So the Lord, they're gonna thank the Lord for us being so great, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
right.
beautiful.
Beautiful, man.
Come on, go ahead.
And these,
we'll close it out after this. Go ahead.
And these all, having obtained a good report through faith, receive not the promise.
Right.
God having provided some better thing for us.
Right, some better thing, the kingdom.
Right.
Yahweh Shai go and say, well, I go to prepare a place for you, man.
Right.
And you think it's going to be equal to this? We're trying to get out of this shit.
Yep. He trying to put us back in it.
Right, man. And that's when we, we meditate on Isaiah, the 64th chapter, the 4th verse. No ear hath heard, no eye hath seen what the Lord is prepared for them, man. That wait for him. So really, realistically, we look at this shit and we know it's got to be better than this.
Yeah.
We know it because the Lord said, no ear hath heard, no eye hath seen. So no matter if you watched a movie and you've seen some extravagant shit, no matter if you've seen there, seen some good pictures, you went out in nature and seen how beautiful nature was. Like the Lord has something way better than what you ever fucking seen prepared for those that love him and wait for him, man. Come on, man. This is what Lord will we're going to receive, man. And this is why we can look at these things that are in the world and say, nah, that ain't shit. Right. Just like Job, just like Apostle Paul, just like all our forefathers, man. Because this ain't shit. Go ahead.
That they
That's how we'll finish it off and you can
that they without us should not be made perfect.
That's right, go ahead.
Come on, this is 8:50. Here we go. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 52.
Yeah, that's right.
It says, "For unto you is paradise opened.
That's right.
The tree of life is planted. The time to come is prepared."
That's
As
right.
brothers were just saying, man. It says, "Plentiness is made ready.
Wow.
A city is builded, and rest is allowed."
Wow, rest. I ain't never heard no Jay talk about, I got some good rest.
I ain't never
you
no
bullshit. You straight up bullshit. You
I'm always tired.
Neck all crooked and shit, man. You can't get no sleep because work taking all your hours, man. And come on, man. Like, this is bullshit, man. This ain't it. And we know this ain't it, man.
I got one precept.
Hey, get it, brother. Get it, bro.
I gotta get this, bro. This is Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 11. It says, "Let us labor therefore to enter into that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief." And when you go into this word rest, you get a Strong's G2663 catapopsis, and it says, "Metaphor, the heavenly blessedness in which the Most High dwells, and of which he has promised to make persevering believers in Hamashiach partakers after the toils and trials of life on earth are ended." So these trials ain't forever, man. You know what I'm saying? We gotta suffer now, but what did the Lord say? In a little while I come again, so it's really gonna be a little while.
Right.
But we just in the flesh, so much going on, so much around, you know what I'm saying? You be thinking it'd be feeling like forever, but when you look at prophecy, that's why you gotta stay focused, occupied in prophecy, as the scriptures say, because you will see that and that'll boost your spirit up. Whereas your flesh is saying, "Nah, this shit ain't happening, everything's moving slow." You're looking at things happening in the scriptures.
Right.
And you're like, "Man, this thing is serious. Let me continue to get right. Let me continue to," and you're moving by that fear, man. You know, because there is, like his brother brought out, is a better, the grass is greener for us on the other side.
That's right.
But it's like, I'll finish this in that 2nd Ezra chapter 8, and verse 52 from the top. It says, "For unto you is paradise opened, the tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared, plenteousness is made ready, a city is builded, and rest is allowed, yea, perfect goodness and wisdom. The root of evil is sealed up from you."
Right. So everything we're going through now, as the scripture saying, Isaiah, I think it's Isaiah the 65th chapter, right? A new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not come into mind. Right. So all these things that we go through now, that should ultimately propel you as well to say, "Nah, I don't want this shit, because I know something's better on the other side, man."
Yeah.
All these different devices and people in the world and the state that they're in cause you problems, cause you heartache, just give you stresses and so on and so forth, and really ultimately shorten your life as well, So we want to see them in a better position and a better light and a better spirit, right? And better devices, man. Shit that'll never break every fucking 5 seconds, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's where your mind should be at, man. Keep going.
God, it says, "The root of evil is sealed up from you, weakness and the moth is hid from you,
That's right.
and corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten.
That's right.
Sorrows are past, and in the end is showed the treasure of immortality."
That's right, man. You know what I mean? So this is what we look forward to, man.
That's right,
But
bro.
at the end of the day, man, we have to understand that we have to let go of this world in order to grab onto righteousness in the kingdom to come.
You can't hold both.
That's right,
Exactly.
man.
You gotta grab onto what's really real. As they say, "Hey, man, you better wake up, Neo, because you're still in the Matrix." You gotta wake up to know what's real. And pretty soon we're about to come into that.
That's right, man. So we're at the end. So Lord will, this was ultimately, a faith booster, man, through the Spirit, right? And ultimately, brought to light, right, where your mindset should be at, man, right? Where you should be focusing your efforts, especially in these times, man, right? And this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, first and foremost, man. You know, so with that, unless brother got something else. Lord Will was edifying. Lord Will was straight to the point. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Again, double honors to the elder apostles, elder bishops, of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord willing, fall upon your houses. So next time we say Shalom,
Shalom,
Kwame Yasharala, and Abba
Abba,
Shalom.
Shalom.